My name is Scott Hickey. My daughter Jenna is 17 years old. She's special needs, nonverbal. She's a happy, healthy kid. Jenna likes sports. She likes bowling. She likes music. She likes to dance. She's into cheer now, so she's pretty active.
My name is Randolph. About Joshua, I mean, he's everything really at this point. He's my partner, he's my go-to guy, and I think he taught me a lot. I think he's the child that taught me about patience and just really taught me about how to have faith. With, raising Joshua has had its challenges, being there from day one. I think the biggest shock was around 18 months when I knew something was wrong, but I was just straight in denial. Like, I didn't want to believe it. I was like, you know what, if I ignore it, he's gonna outgrow it or he's gonna be fine. And just coming to that realization that that's not going to be the case, and not knowing what to expect and not really understanding it, because with parenting there's no manual. So someone throws a special needs child into the mix, you're like, what do I do?
I'm Tracy Bowers. I'm a single mom, live in the Ackworth, Georgia area, and I have a 13-year-old son by the name of Caden. There were a lot of circumstances. Caden was a preemie, and so he in his early days, required a lot of nursing care, hospital care, and I absolutely was not able to work for the first 3 years of his life. He literally went from the hospital into a special needs daycare. And so when we transitioned or moved to Atlanta, I just really felt alone because my mom had been my main support because I didn't trust anybody to keep him, because when he came home on oxygen, he had a feeding tube, he had all of these things. And again, I just didn't trust anybody else to keep him outside of my mom, because I had also had a terrible experience where I let a friend of mine talk me into taking a me day, and it turned out very badly, long story short. And so from that point on, I literally just didn't trust anybody else to keep him.
I get the question a lot, what is respite care? And my favorite is when someone calls me and goes, what is this respite? Respite, honestly, is just a break for a 24-hour caregiver. We associate it with senior citizens most times, like if you have a mother that has Alzheimer's and she needs to be supervised all the time. So respite care is that, only with special needs children. And with this population, you have to have somebody that knows how to handle a meltdown, knows how to let that child have as much freedom as possible without them getting hurt. And that's a challenge to let them do their favorite things without damaging the home or damaging themselves. So respite care is just a break for a 24-hour caregiver. And this population is especially challenging because each child is different.
In the special care world, with kids with autism, you run across caregivers that sometimes can only care for a child for a couple of hours. They say they have training, this, that, and the other, but it really takes a special person, and it takes a special group to really understand what you're going through, and understand, hey, what this child is going to be like and what the expectations are. I've gotten calls from, I remember him going to school, and I got calls from teachers and the principal, like, you got to come pick him up, this, that, and the other, and I've never gotten a phone call.
It was so easy to apply. The approval was almost like immediate. And they were like, you can use it for camp. And it came at the most opportune time. Like, we needed a break. Like, we were spinning our wheels. And believe it or not, that was the first time Joshua had spent the night anywhere overnight. That was his first time away.
When you have, knowing that you're the sole financial person, it's invaluable to know that you have a resource and you have help to be able to just to have somebody else help you out. And my personal story is I have very limited help in regards to the non-custodial parent. And so It allotted me the opportunity to be able to travel, because in my previous job, I was a recruiter and I actually was required to travel for my job, where I had no other resources. They were able to provide a caretaker, someone that I was very comfortable with, staying actually and being willing to stay overnight at my house, keeping my child while I was working. Fast forward, it literally changed our lives. The difference between having the respite and having access was so different than before.
When my wife passed away, it allowed me to get out and do things that I normally couldn't have done. Allowed me to clear my head. Having Parker come by, have Jillian come by, Susan come by, it helped me get out, clear my head, get my thoughts together, and make me feel like a person again. It is a blessing. I'd really be messed up if I didn't have it. That is the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we've met. I'm glad you've helped. I appreciate all the help you guys have given me. With the people coming in, it's just incredible. It really is. And I do recommend you to other people. And when it comes to fundraising and everything else, give money. Help. It helps me. And if it can help other families, then let's do it.